Speaking from the Republican retreat in Philadelphia today, Trump says lawmakers will no longer waste time pushing for initiatives that will never get signed. Trump says his administration has already laid the groundwork for better border security after signing several related executive orders. Trump promises that we are going to crack down on sanctuary cities and that, as promised, Americans will not pay for the wall.
We've put in place the first steps in our immigration plan, ordering the immediate construction of the border wall, putting an end to catch and release, expediting the removal of criminal this is so important to me. From day one, I've said it, and I mean the immediate removal of criminal aliens. They're going to be gone fast.
Trump also says he plans to protect our jobs and end regulations that slow down American commerce. One America's John Hines is at the retreat, and he caught up with Georgia Representative Barry Loudermilk, and he has this report.
Good to see you again. I'm here with Congressman Barry Loudermilk, and he is from the 11th District of Georgia, which is northwest Georgia. And, sir, I know you've just been watching Mrs. May, and I wanted to get your thoughts on her speech.
Well, I thought it was incredible. Both our nations are in what you may say a rebuilding phase right now. Of course, with Great Britain going through Brexit, they're rebuilding. We have to rebuild some alliances, some trade deals, and some things as recognizing them as truly an independent nation now as they're leaving the European Union. And we're in a rebuilding phase, taking back control of the health care system, giving it back to the people, removing the regulations that has caused the economy to be closed to most Americans and open it back up to where everyone can participate in the freedom that we have here. And so we share a lot of course, a common heritage, but we share a lot of the same struggles we're going through right now. So I think it's really going to bond us together.
Well, of course, this was, I would say, I have to credit Mrs. May. I think she's a fabulous salesperson, maybe even as good as President Trump. And of course, her sales, her asking for the order, as it were, was a trade agreement. And talk about that. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I think we're going to be moving forward with that very quickly. We have partners and we have allies across the world, and we need to open up trade. As we're going forward, we need to open up the world to American goods and manufacturing as we rebuild our manufacturing base. For far too long, it's been shipped overseas. It's now time to rebuild and lead the world in manufacturing and technology. And to do that, we need to also be able to market outside of the United States. So these trade deals and alliances are very important, not just for the nations that we trade with, but also for the American worker.
And of course, we have that special relationship with the UK. So presumably, they might not go to the back of the queue, but might be in the front of the queue somewhere.
I think you probably see them come up pretty early. You know, we need an entire European trade deal as well. If we don't, Putin and Russia will dominate that region. And our European partners are very, very nervous right now with what's going on with the Russian expansion. So we need to make sure economically that we're keeping Europe as our ally and we strengthen that area of the world.
And then, sir, I know you've been here for a while. What have you learned today? What knowledge have you gained? Share with us a little bit of your perspective after having gone through so many sessions where you've been with your Senate colleagues, talking about so much that's going on, a very exciting time. What have you learned?
Well, one of the things that we're looking at is this is our opportunity not just to make America great again, but put America on a path forward that we haven't seen in a long time. If we were to just repeal the things that Obama has done and take us back to the 8 years ago, well, we already had deficit spending. We already had government too big. We had overregulation. We already had a healthcare system that was overpriced and had trouble. We have to do better than that. We have to reach further. We have to have a vision for America that makes healthcare as free as your iPhone, where you get the choices to choose what apps goes on there, what plan that you do. Why should you have more freedom with your smartphone than you do with your health care? So these are the things that we have to look forward and go beyond to get the nation back to where we have an open economy, everybody can participate, and you can pursue your dreams. So we're not just looking at taking America back to what it was 8 years ago prior to Obama. We're looking at taking America back to the vision of our founders of freedom, of liberty for every single person in this nation. You know, the status of your birth should not determine the outcome of your life. That's what we believe, that we are the land of opportunity. That's the America we want to build. So our question now is, how are we going to do that? That's what we're working on here.
And there's no answer to that. It's just kind of you make it up as you go along and just kind of
Well, it's using historical data, it's using the Constitution as the basis of everything that we do to get back to that vision of our founders. The government is there to protect the rights, not to provide you with everything that you want, but protect your ability to move forward, to more empower the state governments, which are more responsible to the people. These are the things we're looking at. So it's not just making it up as we go, but it's actually setting a path and a strategy to get there. It's not going to happen overnight, but there are a lot of things that we're going to do in the short end.
And of course, those are some of the themes that Mr. Trump was talking about earlier, and that Mrs. May spoke about here just a little while ago. And I was speaking with Congressman Barry Loudermilk of the 11th District of Georgia, Northwest Georgia. And Congressman, thank you very much for being with us.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.